stand it, I can't take it anymore, not anymore. No one said that this would be easy. No one said this wouldn't be hard. Brush it off and roll up your sleeves now. It's a shot in the dark till you get what you want. Yeah.
Welcome on back to Spiked College Football Show, week 4, 5, 3, 0 for some. We don't know what week it is. All we know is there's fucking mayhem this week. Absolute mayhem. Everybody lost except for the big guys. It was an absolute shit show. All of our picks are wrong except for one guy, but we're not going to talk about that right now because I did something stupid. We're going to talk about all of the big upsets. Oklahoma going down, UCF going down, Mississippi State going down, Auburn losing. Who else fucking lost? Everybody. Memphis losing. Lots of upsets, lots of good games. And the Big Ten still hasn't even started. So football is only gearing up right now. Oh, we also have a little surprise at the end, so stick with us. We're doing a uniform draft. It's fantastic. It's the best college football uniforms. So stick around, and boys, let's get to it.
I don't even know where to start with yesterday. Oh, right, my pick. Once again, screwed by NC State. I think I've started a new trend. We became friends with one of their podcast people for NC State because I kept saying that they were like werewolves. Every time I don't bet on them, they're human. Every time I bet on them, they turn into beasts. I'm 0-3 for my pick of the lock of the week of the century. So I guess I can just take the century off. That's basically all I got.
I find myself eating my words week in and week out when it comes to my pick. Last week, I was just driving that UCF train. But then again, we talked about exactly what their demise would be. When you're a team that is put up 40, opponent scores 20 plus, if you don't go into a game and put up your 40, I mean, that's your demise right there. So yesterday, UCF takes the L, and look, you guys, that was your kryptonite, and it bit you. It's not going to be the year. This isn't the year that we can have that loss and still be a top 10 team. A little bit of a long shot for them. I was high on the team. They've got great talent. I think they have the right drive and they're going in the right direction. A little young, and I don't want to make excuses and sound like I'm falling off the bandwagon at all. I mean, I'm still high on UCF, but this week showed exactly what their kryptonite was.
Well, right now, that AAC looks fairly strong. I mean, Tulsa, that was only their second game. They barely lost to an undefeated Oklahoma State. So, that looks like a real good loss if there is ever such a thing. And they beat UCF. There's no reason that they can't. I mean, they play really tough defense, obviously. So they could go through the season as a one-loss team. UCF could go through the season as a one-loss team. If Cincinnati runs the table and has their one-loss to UCF, the Big East actually looks fairly strong. I mean, not enough that I think you guys get a playoff berth. I mean, we could talk about that all day, but if you guys have 3 one-loss teams for the season, hell, you definitely look better than the Big 12. That's for damn sure.
Which leads me into this point right here. The Big 12, like I said, I think week 1, because I'm fucking big brain. The Big 12 is shit. The Sun Belt is the 4th best conference in football. Nobody gives a fuck if the Pac-12 comes back because the AAC is the 5th best conference. So, Big 12's out. Pac-12's out. None of those teams are making the playoff. Oklahoma State won't run the table because they're Oklahoma State. And they'll lose to fucking Kansas no, they played Kansas yesterday. They'll lose to Kansas State. I'm pretty sure either the Big Ten, the SEC, or the ACC is going to get 2 teams in. There'll be no at-larges unless SMU runs a table or Cincinnati runs a table. We can have a discussion. There'll be no at-larges. It'll be 2 ACC, 2 Big Ten, or 2 SEC that'll make the playoff. It's already been decided. Hear it now. That's what it is.
We're hoping for ACC, right?
I'm thinking it's going to be ACC because I think Georgia might get nicked one, but still make the SEC title game. because they're going to beat Florida because Florida is the biggest fucking pretender I've ever seen, except for Auburn. Florida is a huge pretender. They're all, wow, well, we're the third-ranked school in the country, and we're this and we're that. Like, bro, you beat Ole Miss. And, bro, you beat South Carolina.
And you have a
Like,
one-trick pony.
You're a one-trick pony with throwing the ball to Pitts. Wow. A good team takes him away. They're going to lose here now. My big, bold prediction, my truth. Georgia's going to beat Florida by over 20 points. Like, that's not going to not happen. That's a given. Georgia will beat Florida by over 20 points this year. So that they're out. Florida is not. I don't even know when they're playing. They're playing in Jacksonville because Florida's a bunch of pussies and refuse to play a home and home with an own rival in their division. Nobody else does that. Oh, yeah, they do. The other losers that lose. The fucking horns down, fucking terrible horns down, Texas Longhorns, and the Sooners refuse to play each other on their home fields because they're fucking pussies too. And this is what happens. You lose to shitty teams. So horns down, Big 12 down, fuck Auburn, Florida's out. That's my rant.
So just to recap our picks, since I guess theoretically we have to pick something for next week. Again, I say theoretically because whatever I pick is probably going to be wrong. I'm 0-3. Johnny bet against himself as always, so he's technically 1-2, or actually
2-2.
He's actually 1-2, but we gave him a bump because of calling the Mississippi State upset. So we'll say he's 2-2.
Thank you.
Still undefeated. JC, Cincinnati won, so 3-0 for you. So why don't we get that knocked out right now? What do you guys think?
JC's probably going to pick Alabama or something because they're playing Troy. Go ahead there, King. Go ahead,
first.
King. You're the king. King's pick first.
I'll go first then. So check it out, Johnny B. You called me out a little bit. Look, I played it a little safe. But hey, listen, this segment was guarantees, right? So I'm going to go ahead though this week, and I'm going to give myself a little challenge, and I'm really excited about this. So we talked about the outside conferences and how exciting it's been and how they've got potential. We've got teams that if they run the table.
Oh, he's going to pick who? I know who you're picking. I know who you're picking.
Let him do his thing.
This could be mind-blowing, right? So check this out. We have some real football coming this weekend.
He's going to pick them, and I'm going to get mad.
Play their little knockoffs and this and that. We have real football. We have the number one team versus a number one team, East versus West.
Fuck him. He's not allowed to do this.
1-1. Both teams are 3-0.
Yep. They have great mullets on the one team. The best mullets in football.
So we have Coastal Carolina and the Raging Cajuns. This is exciting stuff. I am going Rock-a-Doodle Chanticleers, baby. Let's go.
Go Chants!
All the swagger. And they absolutely embrace who they are, and it's fucking awesome to watch.
We are Chanticleers podcast. Go Chants. That was my pick, too.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah.
It was.
I like it.
So, Rob, I'm going to have to think, so you can take your next pick.
All
But
right.
go Chants.
Great minds think alike. So I'm going to stay well away from the game that is near and dear to my heart and head. We're just not even going to talk about that. You can check out the other podcasts that I do because, well, I'll be ranting and raving, I'm sure, on that podcast about the Miami Clemson game next week. So what I'm going to do instead is, since I'm going to be wrong anyway, I'm going to try and hedge my bets a little here. And I'm going to go with a team that's a little down versus a team that's way too high for its own good. And I'm going to pick an upset. And I'm going to say that Florida is going to tumble way earlier than anybody else expected, because Kellen Mond all of a sudden is going to show up against Florida after he looked like garbage, and they're going to take him for granted.
Wow.
They're also playing in the 12th man. So
Is it like the 12th man now, or is it like the man and a half?
It's I don't know, but I think that Florida's going to show up and basically expect to win on name alone because they have Trask and Pitts. I think that's what they expect. I don't think that they're going to actually take this game very seriously. Kellen Mond, if we know anything about the guy after being in football for the last decade or so, is that he likes to surprise. He likes to show up for big games, even if he doesn't always prove it on the field. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder because people will be calling him out on Twitter for the next week or so. And most of them will be Florida fans. So, fuel to the fire, so to speak. So I figure if I'm going to be going over for the year anyway, I might as well pick ones that'll make me happy if they hit.
I think it's a ballsy, bold pick, and I don't hate it.
Got to try something new. Can't bet against NC State, apparently.
No. So everybody hear that? Everybody bet on Florida. Rob just picked against them. Clearly, Florida's going to win by 4 touchdowns. Sorry to all the A&M fans that were hoping for an upset.
2 points.
Clearly, Florida's going to win the game.
All of my picks, I think, have been West Virginia, I don't know. But the NC State ones, they won by 3 and 1. So I'm expecting a close game anyway.
All right. So since Jay took my pick, go Shants. Again, we are a Chanticleer podcast. Big fans of the teal. Love the teal. And actually, we have a kid from Venice High, where we live, me and Rob, who is the backup quarterback on the Chanticleers, Mr. Bryce Carpenter. God, that was such a good pick, Jay. I love that pick. I can't wait for that game. That's a noon kickoff. How is that a noon kickoff? That should be under the lights with Kirk and Fowler and fucking Corso talking about it. Can't believe that asshole predicted Iowa State to win. That was a good pick by him. But I digress.
If they score more points, they will likely win.
That was the quote, and that happened. All right, so Texas and Oklahoma are playing. The winner of this game is nobody, because nobody gives a fuck. I'm not going to pick that game. I'm going with the one team that I think showed up, and I think is here, and I think the arrival has come. And I always say no one's ever back and all this bullshit. Guys, it's all about the swag. It's all about the orange. It's all about the green. I looked at some great tape breakdown from a really gifted man, that beautiful young Asian guy with the beautiful glasses, broke down a beautiful game tape of their offense. Boys, sometimes you got to let your nuts drop and pick a fucking big game. And I'm going to pick the biggest game. And this is a big lead up, but this is what it's all about, the lead up. Everybody, that's the same thing with sex. It's not about finishing. It's about the lead up to the final result. I'm going with the gang. I'm going with they call them criminal. No, fuck that. They're great kids. Fucking orange and green. Let's roll with the University of Miami over Clemson by at least 2 touchdowns.
Oh,
they fucking roll them. Derek King rolls them. Manny Diaz shuts down that fucking pretty boy surfer that I think is unbelievably overrated. And if the Jets take him, I'm going to be pissed because I think Justin Fields is a better quarterback. Let's take the University of Miami because it's all about the U. The reason I'm doing that is their offense is ticking. And I did watch a little bit. I didn't want to give it to you, Rob, but because I wanted to come with this take today. Because I knew JC was going to pick the shot. I knew he was going to go with that. So I had the U in my back pocket. And if he didn't, I was going to go with 2 picks today. But I kind of figured he would pick the shots. A really good reason is because I was watching that Virginia game against Clemson secretly, not telling you while we were talking. Now, yes, they were probably looking ahead to the University of Miami. Clemson's defense is not Clemson's defense. They're not. Venables is still a great schemer. He doesn't have the dynamic players. And you were telling me about the matchups. I think we can gut them up the middle. Gut them. On the outsides, they're good. But up the middle, their linebackers are big linebackers. They're like your 1990s linebackers. You know, stop the run. You get your receivers and your tight end in space, it's game over. So I'm going with Miami. Big upset.
Well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to say anything. So, what do you think, JC?
I think it's a great pick. I'm excited about that football game. I think I'm inclined to agree. I'm a big fan of what Miami's doing this year. And yeah, I think this could be, I mean, we know that if the result is a Miami win, then Miami is just shooting to the top. I mean, what they've done so far, plus that win, they'd be clearly the number one team in the country at that point. So, yeah, Miami, hey, let's do this thing. I like it.
Like I said, you're getting me pumped up way too early in the morning, in the week, all this shit. I can't really hit it until like Thursday because I'm going to be exhausted by the actual game time. So I'm going to.
Texas with a lot.
Horns down. Horns down because we're a horns down podcast. Sorry, Jay. Spencer got rattled.
He looked bad.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a good. He's way too big for his britches. All the Oklahoma team quarterbacks had swagger, but they also backed it up and won the games. Spencer has the mobility and he has all of the tools, but he's not winning. Now, I know their defense sucks and you can't put it on them, but Baker's defense sucked. Jalen's defense has sucked. Sam Bradford's defense has sucked. Kyler Murray's defense has sucked, and they always won. So there's no excuses. I think Oklahoma might be in for 3 losses this year, maybe 4.
So we want Oklahoma to upset Texas then, right? So that the Big 12 is completely obscured.
I could give a fuck less about the Big 12, honestly.
All right, kids. We are going to be doing our draft of the week. This one is by far our biggest draft that we've ever done. It's, I think, more than twice as long as every other
That's
draft.
what she said.
But we also have a special guest for it. So we're going to be going through our picks for best uniforms. We also have some bonus rounds for the ugliest uniforms and the most, well, not most obscure, but from the smaller school pool, we also picked, what was it, D2 and below?
D2 or lower, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got 7 rounds to help us with kind of an instant reaction on whether our picks were good or not. We probably will post these on Twitter too for people to actually vote and see.
We'll put up a Twitter poll. I'll put up a Twitter poll of like,
Yeah.
hey, JC picked these guys, Johnny picked these guys, Rob picked these guys.
Right. But we do have a guest star today, my wonderful fiance.
Hello.
This is Gabby. Or would you?
I never met her, so I don't know her.
Okay.
Rob, there was no collusion going on, was there? I'm just asking.
I haven't seen any of them. I told him I didn't want him to show me
See,
them.
I believe her. I don't believe Rob. So, all right.
That's fair. That's fair. Gabby not only is a wonderful human being, obviously, but
Aw.
in my estimation, but she is also our graphic designer. She created our logo. All of the fancy details on this podcast come from her, not us. She has got a very good eye for art and design. And so to see whether or not we're trending in the right direction, I suppose.
I like it. Look at Rob coming out. Look at this. We're coming with the big guns, guys. We got our first sponsor. It's Quibbies. Wear your Quibbies to be warm. That's a complete lie. Guys, give us some fucking advertisers. Let's go.
One of our, well,
Do you
again,
know what a Quibi is?
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
I thought I just made that up.
you didn't.
Oh,
Here we go.
so
Casey's Googling what a Quibi is.
yes. So, I mean, technically, Gabby is one of our sponsors. Her her company, Cosmic Dino Productions, at cosmicdinoproductions.com, right? Yes. Okay. So we got our uniform draft. So we were going to start. I get the first overall pick. This is the uniforms that are iconic or just overall best designed for their team over the course of decades, not just 1 year where they had a really cool uniform and then swapped it out the next week because they're owned by Nike and basically Nike just pumps out uniforms for them. Oregon.
I don't know what's happening. I'm just supposed to tell you if they're pretty or not, right?
Exactly. So you're going to get 2 pictures though for the same team. One's going to be like the general and one's going to be a specialty.
Okay.
So my first overall pick, the coolest uniform idea I think in the nation is Hawaii. I like the Hawaiian look. I think that it's very true to where they are. And they have the design on their stripe. Instead of just a stripe, they have basically the Hawaiian
Tribal
pattern.
Like the fact that the text is also very Hawaiian as well, and it has the design elements.
See, I would never think of that, but now that you said that, it does look like Hawaii.
But the colors are very underwhelming.
Right.
And the Under Armour logo and the
Mountain West, it's their conference.
Yeah, those are just placed in a very awkward position.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what sucks with sponsors. So you were saying they're very underwhelming for colors. So my specialty on the Hawaiian look was their state one.
See that one?
Yeah, if you can you see
what
that,
I'm
Jay?
expecting.
Did you guys look
sick.
at it? I mean, it's the state. Yeah, it represents the state. It's the UH. It's the rainbow.
What's his name? Somewhere over the rainbow.
Izzy, I think.
Yeah.
Are they still technically called the Rainbow Warriors, or are they just the Warriors now?
I think they're still the Rainbow Warriors,
And
which
if
is also
that's
their
the
mascot.
case, then they lose points for their previous uniform being boring as fuck. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That uniform is kind of hot. I like how the glove matches the shoulder pad that matches
is cool,
the
though.
helmet.
I like this one.
Right. And so in terms of iconic, I mean, even the football he has in his hand still has the Hawaiian warrior tribal look, which is what their uniform's supposed to be showing. And this one, they kind of push it into the rainbow side.
I like that the shoulders are the rainbows. That's actually very cool.
So I don't know. I think it was a very strong opening pick, but that's just
It
me.
wasn't.
We'll see what we got.
All right. My first pick, I kind of cucked Rob a little because it's funny to do that. I went with, guys, my pick this week. It's all about the U.
And the first one you picked is the more recent set.
This is the recent U. They got the
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, I'm very familiar with it, obviously.
helmet's right in the background.
I can't escape it. So I might be having a visceral reaction to it that is a little negative just because it's everywhere. But design-wise, it's very clean, very neat. The colors, despite being unlike other schools like UF, which I can say this because I went there, where the colors they're too bright and they don't match each other in a right way. They just clash. The Miami colors, actually, they've done a good job of picking two colors that shouldn't go together and kind of making them look very clean and neat together. And I like the stripes on the sides, the stripes on the shoulders.
I do wish that in this combination, though, like I love the all greens, and I know JC's going to agree with me because I know his style. I love the all greens. I wish they would have done all orange and then all white. I don't know why they did the white with the. I don't know why they did that.
I like it like this. I actually also like that the numbers are on the front instead of the school name, and I like that the symbols are in the line very understated, unlike the one with the Hawaii. They're kind of big and clunky, and with the name instead of numbers, it looked weird. So
yes, and she thinks yes. What you see things I don't even like point out, but that does look a little bit cleaner. Now, Rob, what's the next picture of the?
So the next picture is from, I think, the heyday of the Canes. This is early 2000s Miami.
These are my favorite. Those green jerseys, and I don't care what anybody says. Those green jerseys are the cleanest jerseys ever. When you think of that, you think Hurricane. They're dark. They're bold. They're coming at you. And I just think Jonathan Vilma, Sean Taylor, Willis McGahee. Now, maybe it's clearly just my childhood. JC can attest to this. because he used to come over and watch football with me. I had that jersey. I had the orange, and I had the orange McGahee, and I had the green Vilma. And they might not be the most visually appealing, but for me, those are my childhood
Well,
right
it's
there.
interesting because all I'm doing is basing them on how visually appealing they are. So
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
You're,
I knew
you're
I was
bringing
gonna
the
get nicked
objective
for this
perspective.
one.
yeah.
He's bringing the nostalgia.
So
This is clearly my nostalgia pictures.
I don't like the green and orange colors versions of the uniforms. I actually really do love the white version. I
Those
feel
are
like
iconic.
that with the jersey print, the one with the holes in it, that whatever print that's called. It looks a lot cleaner. That the holes kind of make the other two look like dirty and dingy. The piping is really cool on the top, on the almost boat neck style piping on the shoulders. And again, I like the numbers on the top and the evenly distributed logos. Both.
I just noticed now that she's pointing this out, like I'm seeing things. Those Miami's not really bold. Like for being swag they kind of they don't throw it in your face.
No, they're very clean and understated, but in a way that looks kind of very classy and not boring like Hawaii.
All right, JC, now it's your time to get bashed, bud. Who'd you take with your
I
first
don't know
pick?
JC, so I'm not gonna feel bad.
No,
about
you need to
bashing
bash him.
but
You need to bash him as much as you bash Rob.
He grew up with John.
And me.
So he'll be fine.
No problem, but I don't think you're really gonna have much to bash on.
Oh,
this.
now he's talking shit.
This is a really easy pick. So I went with, again, like classic, just what is good now was good yesterday. And this pick
JC's playing to the non-Gen Xers and millennials here.
this is the cleanest uniform of all time. It's been for decades. And I went with Penn State.
it's hard to get a good look at it with this picture.
All right, so those are the blues,
But
and this is their whites.
I like the crop top. If that was like a feature of the uniform, that would have been immediate. I'm not.
That happens a lot in the Big Ten.
I would watch a
It
lot more
does.
football if your athletes wore crop tops. Let me just tell you.
You should hang out with Ezekiel Elliott more.
No, he's right. And I'm assuming that the blue is just the literal reverse.
Mhm.
They're very clean, very sharp. The material, the spandex, is very well fitted, and even though it's almost stormtrooper-esque, especially in the white. So even though and not in like an evil way, but like in a clean way.
But
Even though it's boring, you might think it would be boring. It doesn't look boring because it's so sharply designed.
It's like a man wearing a tuxedo. It's how I see it.
So I say that for the white. The blue, I think, changes that a little bit, and I couldn't really get a good glimpse of the blue. Yeah, I think with the blue, with the silver, with the white, is it white on the back or with silver? Is it white on the bottom?
White. Yeah.
I think that I'm not as big of a fan because it's not as streamlined as just the white on white. But yeah, they're pretty clean. Again, logo distribution, nice numbers on the front. I think the numbers on the side are actually they're pretty cool too, with the way that the shoulder pads are designed. So yeah, and that's also great when numbers are on the side so that you can actually see who's playing.
That is fair.
So
JC won round one is pretty. I mean,
That's
he
still
did,
worth it.
because you know what? That does remind me, and I know that's why Jay picked it. It's a man in a tuxedo drinking a scotch. It's exactly what Penn State is.
Okay, I was gonna say that Johnny won round one, but fine.
Oh, I'll take it.
I will say, even though I'm not a Penn State fan, one of the things that we talked about in prior weeks.
I do like those flat part on the helmets, but it's not like uniform.
Right. It's the kind of helmet that they're wearing. It's not just the design. So Penn State has something called a whiteout where all of their fans in the stands wear all white at the same time the team wears all white. And it is incredibly impressive, especially because there's 100. But they don't have the uniforms to back it up.
Oh.
You know, when we go white or UF goes white, you still have orange helmets.
orange. Like if we're playing you,
Yeah.
we wear blue.
Sure, but I'm saying like when because of how sharp these uniforms are, then you imagine 100,000 people all wearing white,
Yeah.
and honestly, most of them being white.
Jay,
It's very impressive.
Jay, that was a good pick, man. To be honest, like that Penn State.
No, Penn State is good. It was a close second. Hawaii's way on the bottom, but
But I had the best.
You did have the best alternative.
I had the best individual uniform, which is probably going to be a theme for the rest.
Oh,
of
Rob, you won the participation trophy for round 1.
I had the best individual uniform because Penn State doesn't have any alternate uniforms.
And what did we talk about before this draft? I said, I think I like my list. I said I think JC has the most classic, and like the most like when you think college football, you think JC's list. And I said for Rob, Jay, I told him I'm like, you have the one-offs.
Yeah, the reason that this one didn't win, Penn State didn't win, is because is that 150? Is that's it?
It's the 150 years. I think.
Yeah, over the
Big Ten.
Big Ten logo kind of makes it imbalanced. So that if they could have put that on their pants across from the Nike logo to make it more.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So yeah, so that is like the reason that it didn't win, because
the Big Ten is full of itself and decided to throw not only its logo but another 150 years on top of it just to sack. Yeah,
So,
that
yeah.
doesn't sound like them at all.
All right, Jay.
from a design perspective, that's why this one didn't.
So for the record, before we go forward, and it's still going to be JC's next pick. I'm calling it now. JC's pick is for all the Gen X, Boomer, the older generations, the classics. Johnny's going to be for the millennials. Of course, Gabby is a millennial, and all of mine are basically Gen Z because it's just the one time like flash in the pan. I better know how old you are. Fuck. All right. Anyway, so I'm just calling it now. So I'm going to have all the flash in the pan ones, which is good. That's what I was going for. JC, continue with your classic look.
Yeah, so another classic. You know what? It's good today. It was good 30 years ago. Longhorns.
Horns down.
Again, loving the crop tops. Let's bring that back.
JC's playing into the midriff like he always used to do in high school.
No, wait, I'm still looking at it. This one, classic. Not as straight and streamlined as Penn State, despite being basically the same thing, because the orange is everything's a little bit like bigger, and also the orange is because it's Texas. I walked into that one. And the orange is kind of like a metallic. So it's not flat, so it doesn't have that crisp, clean look for it. But the the stripes on the shoulders are cool. The logos are like evenly distributed, and I do like how they did the Longhorn like at the V to kind of like have that same direction going from the Longhorn to the V-neck. So.
And the alternate is their homes.
And I think this one actually is much cleaner, and I like the orange. I would say that's burnt umber, burnt sienna.
Sounds about right. I don't know.
But I do like this with the I like this one a lot, actually. Yeah, I can't see the helmet design, but I assume it's similar. It's the same. Okay.
Yep. So the helmet design doesn't usually change from home and away, though we have some picks that do.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as the white, but I like it better than the white. It's very clean, very classy. Usually for football colors, I'm always going to prefer more muted unless they do something like big that's really creative, because muted's just always classier, except for Hawaii, which was boring.
Well, I tried. All right, Johnny.
So, Jay, what do you think of the analysis?
No, I think it's completely fair. I'm in agreement, and like I said, my picks are the ones that when I turn on college football on Saturday, and I see a pair of uniforms on the field, I know I'm going to be watching a football game. And I mean, Penn State, Texas, and my following picks, they all follow the same trend.
And I do want to say one more thing about it that I'm noticing now, because the numbers are on the front, but also the school name is on the front.
Mhm.
The alignment is really good with the logos and the word Texas. The edge of the Nike sign and is it the division sign?
Yeah, Big 12.
They align
We don't talk about
perfectly with the edge of the T and the edge of the S, which is very pleasing to me.
So far, it seems like Nike is a big hit, except for the Miami one, because I think they've always been Adidas. But
All right.
Well,
Well,
they didn't have the number on the bottom.
That's
they had
true.
it on top.
That's true.
we're gonna stick with the classic theme here that JC's been on, because me and him have a lot of the same style.
So this is
Yeah,
Johnstown?
He's always dressed a lot better than me, but I mean, I've tried to look with the clean style, but a little bit bolder. And I'm going little Homer. But listen, when you think of football, just like Jay said, Penn State and Texas with the burnt sienna,
And I
you got to go.
want to point out that I don't think of football at all.
Yeah, that's true. But the viewers think of football. I'm going with the Golden Domers.
The people who think they're so special,
And so squashes.
so Irish, so Irish.
Uh-oh, Mr. McDuck, where are you from in Ireland?
So this is Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, and that's a classic look, isn't it, Johnny?
That's their classic that they've had since 1923.
Yeah. So that's their home and away classic look,
The dark blue, the gold.
and then the white and gold, and of course the ND on the shoulder pad.
You can show her the alternatives too.
Yeah, and so then this one only comes out on special occasions, right? Like St. Patty's.
This is the big games that they play.
I like this one.
This is probably my favorite jersey in college football, even though JC saw me cry on them after we beat somebody in our high school playoffs our junior year.
Just the same as the front of the other one.
But these only come out like once every 4 to 5 years they play them. And this is the Kelly green and gold.
I like this one, especially considering the name is Fighting Irish. This one's great. Can you go back to the other one?
Sure.
I do not like this. This is terrible color wise. These colors don't go well together at all. But if they are, you know what? It's shiny, and I'm like my lizard brain goes, yay, shiny, when gold things are there, like a magpie.
Mhm.
But there's just I like the white much better with the blue.
All right, so round 2, Gabby hates Notre Dame is what we're going with. It's fine.
I can't with the blue. I can't with the blue and the yellow pants. It's just They could have gone so many ways with these colors that were much better, and they didn't, and that's fine. But design wise,
All right, well,
it's better than Hawaii.
Under Armour fails again.
all right, Rob, your round 2 pick.
Yes.
I do really, really like the green one.
Oh, the green ones are my favorite.
And like it fits with the Fighting Irish. Like I don't know that's perfect. Like just make that your uniform. All right.
I agree.
All right. So I'm pretty sure I didn't go with the classic look. Oh, I don't know.
Actually,
So this one is my law school. This is University of Illinois. They've had a number of different looks. This is the classic navy and orange.
They look just like Hughes, Jay, don't they?
They do.
Kind of it. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you love
they
that
do
jersey?
look like
You do?
Hughes.
Yes.
this is actually probably my favorite so far.
Wow.
Yes. So he's making a comeback. So I will say that Illinois has changed the helmet design over the years. They've always kept the same color scheme and had basically the same setup. This is from the last time they were good, I think in the early 2000s, and went to a Rose Bowl. And they had the full name of the state on the side, Illinois.
The helmet is my least favorite part of it, actually.
Mhm.
Again, I like the piping. I'm always gonna love piping because it's a nice touch to a jersey. The neckline with the orange, the fact on the sides, the fact that the Illinois logo is in an orange triangle on the V-neck. The alignment with the logos is perfect with the number. The numbers on the sides aren't too big. I love that the numbers are outlined in the orange. I like that the gloves are multicolored. Like this is, and even the pants have the stripe and the piping and the orange stripe. Like
Yeah,
this is a classic. This is a great, wonderfully designed.
To be honest, I didn't even realize how nice Illinois' uniforms were.
Yeah, and the colors, like again, not like UF, like it's orange and blue, but they actually go well together. They actually complement each other. It's not trash like my school. So
Man, music to my ears. I fucking love it.
So this is.
Oh, actually, Jay, Jay, have you ever seen their alternatives?
Thank you.
A lot of like talking.
Yeah.
What's that?
What was that, Jay?
I said I think I have. I'm not too familiar.
Because
with
Rob
it.
has a little backstory. I never even looked at. To be honest with you, I've seen Illinois play, but I don't remember their uniforms. But those look like Cuse, and they look good.
Yeah, and so their more recent ones are even more like Syracuse, because Syracuse has the same color scheme, and they have a big S on the side of their helmet. And Illinois has switched from the Illinois with the underscore, like very, I don't know, 70s, 80s look, to just the I is on the side of the helmet now for the modern stuff. But I always like this look better because they kind of did away with some of the piping and all the other stuff. And I always felt like this was classic Illinois. And yeah, that it was Syracuse, and at least at that point, they were better at football. But the highlight has a little history behind it. This is something they've only done the last 4 or 5 years, and it's called the Gray Ghost.
Ooh.
And so it is still their navy, but they take out the orange completely and go just silver it up. So
look at that one up on my phone. I feel like the colors are.
It's very close. Yeah, it's a little washed out, but they went full navy and navy sleeves for the people who have long sleeves.
Like I've never even seen those. Like I wouldn't even know that was Illinois.
But see,
I
you did see them. That's the thing. He didn't remember, but everybody in the nation saw these uniforms when they upset Wisconsin last year. These were the uniforms they wore, and they only wear them once a year for the last 4 years. And it's to honor the best player that ever went to their school, Red Grange, known as the Gray Ghost, because he was their running back and nobody could touch him.
Two-tone gray looks good.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, okay, I can see it much better that it is the navy.
And it is.
It's navy. Yeah.
It is navy, but there is two tones on the side, so you can see that there's two. Like basically I don't even know exactly what the term is.
Like
but
there's So now that I saw a better picture of it, yeah, no, with the navy, it's hard. This is a washed out picture, but I'm sure everyone's going to be seeing them when you post them on Twitter. It is dark navy, and it is two-tone gray with a lighter gray, and it has like this cool kind of paneling that you can't really see in these pictures that are on the side of yeah, where it's lighter and it gets a little darker. It's like striped paneling. That's really cool. I love the design on the neckline. I have to assume the fanny pack is not regulation.
No, that's what they're quoting.
It's cool that they're doing this to honor someone specifically. I really wish that they all had to coordinate shoes. That bothers me that they don't have the same shoes in the same colors. This is also and the helmet is not, this is also a very clean, very cool looking uniform. So
that was the end of round 2. So can we call it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Texas and then you won this one, honey.
Yes, making a comeback. Last in the first round, first in the second round.
So right now, pretty much what we're going with is, I won the first. JC's the most consistent.
He's second in both.
Second place every time.
He is the second in both.
He's leading right now, and me and Rob are going back and forth of shitty and good.
Well, technically, I mean, I guess, yeah, if we all end up the same, the most consistent person will win. But technically, the average is we're all in second right now. We all have an average of 2.
Now, I have to ask you something.
I'm so sorry, but if there's going to be like bonus points distributed, JC might have a comeback because he's the only one that showed me abs.
Oh, that's weird. Thank you, Gabby. That's a good segue of getting into what I was going to say, because we used to call JC Showtime in high school football because he had 37 pack, and he'd always have the flashiest gloves. And our high school uniforms were so clean, and he looked so good, and he was always matching. So, I mean, if he doesn't win this draft, I'm gonna be very surprised.
Again,
Jay, you can go ahead and comment on that.
It might come up to the abs, and in that case,
you can tell them. You can go ahead and tell them that that's exactly a true story too.
Go ahead, JC.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Okay, so now top of the third round, I get to go first again. Apparently, I'm better when I go in the end, but I have another. Oh, it's a little small. I have another random set. Well, we've got another set. So the name of the school is Arkansas State. They are the Red Wolves.
Arkansas.
Yes. And so I love this. I couldn't do justice to this uniform set because they're a very small school, and yet they have like 5 or 6 different setups. They have 3 different helmets. They basically mix and match red and black and white in every possible conceivable fashion.
I have one question. Why?
No, Arkansas State.
I don't care. Why is he holding a baseball? I don't know if you guys can see that. Why is he holding a baseball and a bat and a football uniform?
I don't know. It's Arkansas. They posted a thing about being the new Pirates of the college football world yesterday. So I don't know. Nobody knows. But no, Arkansas State is a very small school, but they still beat a Big 12 school this year. So I think it was Iowa State.
I'm gonna say one thing again. I kind of like those jerseys because they remind me of Texas Tech.
Hold on, let me pull it up. I need to see the front. This is cheating. We're giving minus points. We're giving plus points for abs and minus points for people who make me have to look at
Weird. JC gets more points for abs like he has his whole life. Literally, it all comes back to that, Jay. Your beautiful fucking smile, your great sense of dressing, and your fucking this is high school again. Rob, if you had any idea of me or what we were talking about, you'd really get it, because when Jay came out wearing the red, white, and blues, and his cleats fucking matched his gloves, which matched his socks, and I came out like a fucking with nothing underneath, just smelling like a fucking locker room. But he comes out looking crisp, going out there scoring 110 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns while looking good, making all these plays, never getting dirty somehow. It's just this was a bad idea. We should have never done a uniform draft.
We have to go on record. Who suggested the uniform draft? Johnny.
Well, I'm an idiot too.
Oh, we lost him.
No, he's still listening.
Okay,
so what do you think of the Arkansas State Red Wolves? This is their home. This is their traditional look.
it looks cheap, bruh.
Yeah.
No, I'm not done.
No, I know. I'm just getting ready for this.
You can't really see it in this picture, but it is very much like a vinyl. Their logo is in vinyl and like in cheap vinyl, it looks like. And the logo and it doesn't line up with any of the logos from Adidas or Sunbelt, which are just kind of like the Sunbelt one's kind of like randomly placed on the
I think on this one they did move it a little more, but it's still off. Yeah. I would agree with that.
So
Adidas fails again. So far, Nike's been pretty much the winner through 2 rounds.
Okay.
All right. So my pick for the third round.
Wait, we're not done.
And just to show the alternate, see if it's any better or worse, is.
They're fun.
Sorry. Oh, again, this is a small school. This is a school that like maybe 5,000 people actually care about. So we like them because they're underdogs always.
It looks like they on this one they did put them on the different sides. So then they added the 150 on the top shoulder. The vinyl is a little better in quality. I do like that the A is big, like, because that's like clever, like Arkansas.
Really, Jay?
It's fine. It's not great.
And then the other thing that I liked about it was the fact that this is, again, an alternate design. Because of the wolves, they have kind of like a claw mark on the shoulder instead of the classic stripes. And then they also have a metallic look, which is probably just as cheap. Because I had the gray ghost, I figured that wasn't worth it. So my apologies, Johnny. It is now your turn that we can't see you.
All right, Jay sent me a message.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Here we go.
So what is your pick? Or do you want
I
me to?
will be taking the maybe I don't know.
Do you want me just to take it forward?
How do I explain this? Yeah, Rob, just flip it over and I'll explain it.
Okay.
This is the JC pick.
That you stole.
I definitely stole. This is Southern Methodist University, the red, white, and blue Mustangs, which I think is just super, super clean. And yeah, classic look.
It helps when they're winning. They're 4-0 this year.
And I love their new Dallas logo that they have.
I disagree. I think that this is not very clean. Everything is out of line. Nothing lines up well. On the shoulders, I guess the lines are cool. I think Johnny's blinded by the patrioticness of it all a little bit. Just a little
Actually,
bit.
don't even really like these ones, Rob. Flip over to the next one and I'll show her the ones that like. The reason I picked SMU was the Dallas ones. I love the Dallas script and I love the Dallas.
These are nice.
These are the reason that JC got mad that I got them.
These are nice. These that are lined up. The SMU lines up with the number. The Dallas with a pretty script is centered over the number. They do have that random ass logo on underneath the 150 that doesn't really line up with anything.
AAC, yeah.
But I do like that the Mustang, again, I love anything that kind of helps with that channel direction so that the Mustang's in a little triangle. Would be cool.
I didn't even see that.
Color, but going up the neck is pretty cool.
Rob, check your phone real quick, by the way.
All right.
You want to see a clean uniform?
Yeah, no,
Am I looking at JC's abs?
No, you're looking at his ass.
Are these, so is the are these both used right now or just one used?
Right now, this year, Jay, I think they're using the Dallas a lot. I'm pretty sure they're using the Dallas whites, right?
That one a little bit.
What's that?
I think they are going to be using the Dallas one a little bit this year. I'm just a big fan of the SMU because they're classic colors, like classic college football colors. And I agree with the other ones. They're older styled. It's a little out of whack.
Yeah, I didn't really like those. Yeah.
Now, when they tighten it up, I mean, you go from a very classic look, you tighten it up with the design, and now it makes for a perfect modern look. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, the Dallas one and with the script, that's actually very nice.
And again, I apologize for taking your pick, Jay, but you know.
That's why it's a draft.
All right, let's go to the next one.
You're up.
Okay, so this pick is actually, I know that it's not going to maybe get a lot of fan votes, but I think if they actually really look at it, I'm excited to get a professional's opinion. Because again, these are classic football teams that when they play on Saturday, you know you're watching a college football game, and it's like a cool color combination, unique. So Kansas State is getting a shout out on their uniforms.
It's a little, so that one's pretty close, but basically we could show you the next one.
Yeah, show them the next one.
Kansas State. But the difference here is that this is a white helmet, and normally their helmets are
silver.
Okay, well, I still can't see it.
It's a little too close.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll Google it.
She's gonna Google it.
Yep.
Rob, do you like JC's uniform catch, by the way, while she's looking that up?
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's
that was
no
just an every week occurrence that he looked that good,
and
while
also
making those plays.
Yeah. Is it every week that you mossed guys like you're doing in this picture?
Yes.
That was a nice T with I think a 50-yard return.
Jesus. I never got to do stuff like that. I was always too short. I was the acrobatic catch. So if it was if there was a tipped ball, I would usually end up with it on the ground. But that doesn't look as good being photographed as you're falling on your
Don't worry, guys. We will show you the picture of Jay. That's probably going to be his new picture
Okay.
on the site.
4 rounds.
Okay, so I like
Couple.
The stripes on the side of the pants, the paneling. Again, it comes down to the alignment and the logo placement, which is kind of just at wherever they just kind of threw them out. They're not aligned with the numbers. They also, I do like how they have the logos on the pant legs. The colors are, I do love the purple. I'm not a fan of the silver, honestly, as much as I like sparkly things. I just feel like it's not, and plus I think there's black on the helmets.
It's supposed to be dark purple.
Oh, it looks like, no, on the stripes.
Yeah.
All right, somebody pull up an image with a guy in a crop top and let's get a vote.
Yeah, no, it's
JC's
definitely black,
pandering.
honey.
JC's pandering.
He is pandering. Well, it looks like the same color as the logo on the side, so that's why it might just look weird because I don't know.
It looks black, regardless, and it looks like the numbers are black as well. No, the colors are hard to find. Regardless,
It does make it difficult, and
Yeah.
because the stripe in the middle is white, but the helmet is silver, I think it makes the purple look darker than it really is.
yeah. Also, I do like though that their numbers and it's not vinyl; it's cloth that's been sewn in.
Mm.
So that's always a classy look.
Okay.
So yeah, I just the alignment in the colors.
Oof. So I think so. This is the end of round
I do
4.
like the paneling on the side though. The paneling on the side with the holes and the piping.
Mhm.
That's always a good look. It always makes the figures look more cut and more clean.
Gotcha. So this is
Jay
the end of
goes
round
again.
3. So what do you think, honey? Who would be between K-State, Arkansas State, and SMU? Who wins this round?
Go back.
Sure. So K-State, SMU, and then Arkansas State. I'm not even gonna go to the first picture because you hated it so much.
I do like the claws. But yeah, SMU.
All right, Johnny wins his first round.
They're all. I didn't care much for all of them. The only one I really liked was the Dallas one.
Yeah. Sorry. And again, I
So they win
stole
by
it from Jay.
because of the Dallas.
There you go.
All right,
And,
Jay, 4th round. Your pick.
And I'm assuming I was in last again. If I'm not,
Yeah, Rob, we're not even gonna talk about your choice. That was terrible.
No, I liked you and him were tied.
oh geez, we both get 2s then.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll take it. Screw you, Johnny.
Whatever.
All right. So
I forgot. Jay's
no,
up, yeah.
now it's JC. So go ahead, JC.
All right, this is going to be a cool pick. We're going to go diving down into teams that people don't get to see on Saturday and just a good old-fashioned college football uniform. And I've got the Maine Black Bears.
The Maine Black Bears.
All right.
That's your non-D1 pick, right?
Yeah.
No, that's his Arkansas State.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I
like this. I like the two-tone blue that the letters that the numbers are outlined with the blue. It looks like the folding is what's obscure. It looks like it is aligned. The name is aligned with the numbers, and it's just a weird fold. So that's always great. The logos are equidistant and equal places. The numbers are higher on the shoulders with the stripes on the side, which is nice. I actually don't hate the New Balance, the giant New Balance logo. I do wonder why it's there when they already have it on the pants and the shoulder.
Yeah. Because it's New Balance.
That just seems unnecessary. But I don't hate that design wise because its placing looks like it would be in line with the S and the 1 on the edge without the fold. So, and the pants both have the logos on either side. They're not the same, so that's kind of weird, but it's not awful. And the side stripes are cool. So yeah, I genuinely like this one. And the blue, the touch of light blue is excellent.
All right, and you can't tell, but the helmet has the light blue in the middle, has like the full stripe and then the little pinstripe on either side, the thin stripe, and then their logo is Maine in big lettering, and then a picture of a growling black bear right underneath. Same logo.
All bears matter.
Oh Jesus! So you can kind of see it a little better from here with the away look. The numbers are on a slant, like they're in italics. So they
damn, Jay, those uniforms are clean, bro. Where did you get Maine Bears from?
Nice.
Those are clean.
These are the same. I like these. I mean, I'm assuming that it's the same. That the same at least design on the pants are for the other one with the double stripes and the light blue in the center. I have nothing else to say. These are just nice uniforms.
Jay, now go ahead, Jay. Where did you think of Maine?
So I have a buddy. He's a musician, Chris Giles. I trained with him. He's a musician, and he played for Maine. And I was checking it out. I was like, man, I like that a lot. You know, it's just like I said, good old fashioned. The helmet stayed classic and old school with their logo, but yet the uniforms they make that modern transition too. So
that's a good pick, man. I like that pick. That might be my favorite one that you have.
Well, there you go. So Johnny,
all right, she's gonna hate mine. I know it. Just based on what's going on, because these are the most busiest uniforms in college football. All they do is change their uniform.
It just needs to make sense.
Yeah, the problem with these is all they do is have different selections every week, and I'm taking the Oregon Ducks.
So this is one. We also have another picture to put up.
So they wear a different uniform I'm confused.
It basically, I mean, they have all these different looks for their uniforms. They also have.
Are these not the same?
So maybe. I mean, there's also another picture that he has that.
Flip the other picture because they have like 15 of them.
Oh, easily. They have at least. They play 10 games. They have at least 6 different uniforms, new uniforms every year because Nike throws them out.
What are their school colors?
So they're supposed to be green and
yellow,
bright yellow.
You could bring that to the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is my millennial pick because the reason they get a lot of recruits, or they got a lot of recruits in the past.
I really like these.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I actually like the duck, like the wings on the shoulders are very clever. I think that's really cool. The uniforms themselves are kind of generic, but none of the colors are too distracting from each other. Like the main ones, like the white and the green, is pretty cool. The yellow's a little too bright, I think, to mix with everything, but if that's like Oregon's color, that makes sense. But I really like the wings on the shoulders, like that. Like that alone, I think is just like, that's a cool uniform. I love that.
We could spend all day looking at Oregon's variations of that. They have
we don't have to go all deep into it.
Shoulder was covered with feathers. They had one where the helmet was covered with the feathers.
Johnny has no idea, but I'm a slut for feathers. I love feathers.
So my millennial pick hit home with a millennial, and that's that's exactly how they got all of their recruits.
Yeah,
because Nike gave them all their uniforms for free. Remember those couple years where literally every game they'd have a different uniform because the Nike guy went there.
Yeah,
he would just give them a different uniform every week.
Yep, I remember. I mean, that's the thing. It's right in Nike's backyard. So that was when Nike decided to start getting into football uniforms. Oregon was their laboratory. So you could spend hours.
They were the
on
test
all.
dummies. Yeah, you can spend hours on Oregon, but
Yeah.
Rob, go ahead, throw yours up there.
All right. So I will say I still hate the numbering. The numbering makes no sense on the uniforms at all. I hate it. They always go way overboard, but whatever. I'm not the one judging or giving hot takes. So
Ooh, this one's nice.
that's the one I was talking about. Where you covered the shoulders with feathers.
Johnny, the fact that you didn't show me this one,
There's literally over
But
150
this one-
combos.
Well,
There's 150 combos. There's
Yeah.
so hard to pick the right ones.
Yeah, but definitely share that one so that you could see that that one would have been the best. All right. My next pick is a classic, and not feathers, unfortunately, so I'm probably going to lose on this one. But my next pick is the Colorado State Rams. Again, homer pick for me. It's where my parents met. That's where I was born, in Fort Collins. They are the Rams. They have, and it's hard to tell from this one, but you can obviously tell they're the Rams. They have it on the pant, Under Armour. They have the horns, so they have the classic just kind of swirl on their helmets, golden swirl usually.
I didn't realize that
designs,
they were green was that green. I kind of like that actually.
some helmet designs have like the actual ridge, like horns of a ram, that are thinner. But they on this one, the one that they wear usually, they put the horns on the side of the shoulder pads instead. And then they also have the white ones that are, basically just swapping out the white for the green. So that's
All right, Rob,
classic look.
that's really pretty and everything, but can we show the people the jersey that's going to win jersey of the night, please? Because
Yes.
that's cute and everything, and Hawaii one was cute. I just want to see my favorite one.
So
Go ahead.
I have a penchant for picking teams that take their states. This is Colorado's. This is the same team. This is their state flag of Colorado, and they
I love
grabbed
that
it
jersey.
and made a Colorado State uniform,
I
much
love
like
that uniform.
Hawaii did, but better. Honestly, those gloves are fucking fire. As soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, done.
It
I
literally
love
looks like a target.
I know, but literally, like, throw it here to Iron Man. Like, thank you.
For a non-football fan, it looks like a little bit like the Chicago Cubs.
JC, you could wear the fuck out of those
I don't know why you
gloves.
didn't show me this. The
Um,
orange ones.
yeah, that was the other option. Was when they do the ridge, they do it in bright orange and green.
Yeah, this is much better than what you showed me.
Those are
Points
alternates. So
I know, but you could have showed me those instead.
I had to give you the classic, and this is in my opinion, this is the best alternate uniform out there.
I love it.
So you don't like the C's?
I just think how many there a Colorado, this is Colorado State. Is there
There's a Colorado, the Buffaloes, and it's their rival. So they stole it basically. They
Yeah,
claimed it,
yeah,
but
so
Colorado.
that's what I'm saying. So that's kind of a dick move on their part.
Well, my thing is that these teams have been around for about 100 years, and Colorado State was the first one to say, you know what, let's take the state flag.
I just think the flag is ugly.
Well, yeah, it's Colorado.
So that just kind of makes it like it I don't know. I don't like the colors together.
Got it. Man,
That was round 4.
that one was round 4.
I really liked the orange uniforms from Colorado State, but you didn't show me those. And Johnny, I really liked one of the feathered ones that you didn't show me.
So those don't count then. So
No, they don't.
So they don't count. So you actually get points against you because you could have easily won with a single picture. So JC gets this one for the clean.
God damn it.
The nice clean, the blue outlines. Yeah.
JC gets a big win with the Maine Bears. The Bears.
Honestly, I thought that it was a little too much for the orange and
I
dark
think this
green.
is very clean. And
Rob,
very
so
Okay.
And
this is the last round, right?
on the helmet.
This is the last
regular
normal
round.
round.
Yes, this is the last regular round. So we're at the start of round 5. This is the last of the regular uniforms, round 6 is going to be the ugliest uniforms that we could think of. And then round 7 is going to be the most obscure, pretty much, in terms of schools. So,
all right, Rob, hit it.
Fucking iridescent. How can you not pick that one for me?
Answer.
she's still mad at you.
James, do you know what iridescent means? Because I don't.
It's shiny
Oh.
and
But-
changes color.
but not just metallic shiny.
It
Yeah.
changes color.
All right.
Sure.
My last pick of the draft, Army. And so every year, Army plays Navy, and it's the biggest rivalry game. We talked about that last week. JC was in the Army. There's a lot of reasons why we talk about Army every week, but
And you
I
can
finally got to
apologize.
pick Army.
Apologize.
Yes, but I finally got to pick Army because I really like their uniform combinations.
Before we get into the
traditional one
uniforms,
is at the top.
real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off. Has Army been drafted every single week?
Probably. Yeah. They
JC
were
took
the
him
number
1
one
week.
overall pick. Number one overall
JC
pick for the fight song. Number one overall pick for the rivalry game.
Yeah, because Jay picked him, John picked him, you picked him, and I picked him.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? So pretty much right now, Army's the number 1 football team in America.
So each of these other uniforms are ones that they bring out just for their rivalry game against Navy, I believe. I don't believe that they showcase these during the regular season.
They don't.
So looking at them, and are the pants black or are they gold?
The pants for Army are, I thought they're usually black on black, but I think they're
gold. And I have a question while Gabby's like, Jay, can you see the alternate jerseys on the computer?
Yeah. It's black.
Can I?
Can you see the picture that Rob put up?
Yeah.
Can you explain to everybody the one, like the red one, like what does that represent? Because I know you were in the Army and like,
Yeah, so what they've been doing is they've been using the unit insignias. So like you got first cav down in the bottom left.
see, this is what I want to learn. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
So they changed the unit insignia, and like some of the guys on the back of the helmets, they'll wear an even different one than maybe what's on the helmet, and it gives just a little shout out to the different units.
That's such a great idea that they honor them. I just think that that's awesome that they switch it around like that.
So I really, really, really like the traditional one, the gold, the black on black with the gold. It's very classy, very just man in tuxedo, as Johnny said.
JC with the tuxedo. That was Rob with the tuxedo.
I really, after looking at the pictures, I really like the Army inspired, because they are Army inspired uniform on the bottom left. Like, I think that's really cool the way they did that.
That's the cavalry one. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, that, like, if you look at a full picture of it, it looks pretty badass. I really do like that a lot. And it almost looks like the number is in some kind of like almost camo type design, which is,
it looks like it's bordered in like a slightly lighter green.
but if you look here, yeah,
That's cool.
so and you can't really see it here, but it doesn't, the shoulder or the neck, the green neck doesn't really go out to the shoulders. It kind of comes down basically like a cadet uniform. So I just think that's in the green, of course, Army green. I think that's just really cool details.
You know what's going to be funny is this round is going to be our best picks. I just realized it.
The last one.
That's a fantastic pick at Army in the 5th round.
The other two, the middle one is also just very classic, very, neat, and everything's aligned except for that random patch, but that's not even a big deal. Just everything's just so clean that doesn't even make a difference. The other two are kind of just takes on the first one with different patches, so I don't have much to say about those, but I really like the standard and the cavalry one.
Nice. All right, Rob.
Really
Good job,
like this
bud.
design.
Yeah, the
Well,
numbering or the lettering looks different for each one of them, which I just thought was interesting. And they swap out the helmet every time. They have different helmets. So the big red one just has the one and no other insignia. It's all blacked out. And then the I think that's the Hell Jumpers.
yeah, the Hell Jumpers.
The Hell
I think
Jumpers, we just watched an episode about
Yeah,
them.
and so they have the skull and crossbone look. So
Do you mind if I finish?
no, of course not.
So
And
I
but
didn't
so
think
I just
didn't
got to
think
show the
that,
last one because I couldn't find it in a good pick. They also come out in actual camo ones, which they tried, I think, 1 or 2 years. They don't always do it, but it matches what their cadets are wearing during the game.
Okay,
Um,
so because I know the audience here, I will say, no offense, I think camo's hideous and is a scourge on humanity.
yo, that kind of looks like shit, Rob.
And I think
I
that
couldn't find a better picture.
it shouldn't exist. I mean, I get why it exists for the military, but I definitely don't think that girls need to be driving pickup trucks with pink camera on them. That's unnecessary.
I'm gonna
Like
be
you just mentioned the love of my life. That's my kind of girl.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I love Army's uniforms, but that picture that you picked out, those might be the worst uniforms I've ever seen.
But what I was going to say is that the design outside of the camo is once again very clean and nice, and there's a reason for them to have that camo design, and it plays into their school and in honoring their cadets. So it makes sense. So I am okay with it. I actually like the fact that this is camo.
I can't believe they did a camo helmet, but yeah, that's why I was like, I couldn't find a good
Listen,
picture.
I love camo more than JC probably loves it more than I love camo. Half of my wardrobe's camo. Those uniforms are fucking ugly, and I'm not disrespecting the military. No, those look like absolute shit. I don't like them.
If you're putting them in perspective, they succeed in their mission, and there's nothing inherently wrong with them except for the camo, which is there for a specific reason. So I'm not mad at it.
Well, I didn't think that I was going to get this team in the 5th round and steal them from Jay and end up losing to Army because somehow Army dropped to the 5th round. But I'm going to go with probably the most recognizable color of blue when it comes to us sports fans. And I'm going to go Carolina blue.
Ooh,
And the Tar Heels.
Carolina
Sorry,
blue,
Jay.
nice blue.
Well, let's take a look.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I do like the Argyle on their helmet.
Yeah.
That's such a fucking nerdy move.
Yeah.
Like that's ballsy. Like you took.
I don't know what
Poindexter-
Argyle means, but I'll take it. I don't know what that is.
The plaid pattern. I mean, not plaid. I'm sorry. The
traditional Poindexter type pattern where it has, like nerds wear with like their sweaters and socks.
Again, to be honest, I didn't even notice that. I just like the colors.
Yeah. So I like that's just I just think it's funny that they took the Argyle and put it on like the sports uniform, the football uniform. And I like that the Argyle is on the neck, on the
stripe
on the stripe on the sides. I don't like the numbers outlined in black, or at least with that thick of a line. And I also, I said before, I'm not a huge fan of vinyl numbering and lettering. I much prefer when it's fabric sewn in because it just looks classier. But the North Carolina logo is you can't argue it. It's a nice logo and it looks nice on the helmet.
Did I have another picture, Rob, or no? I don't remember
Yes,
if I
you
sent
did.
Yeah,
one.
I'm still on this one though.
So you did, but we'll get
No,
there.
I didn't know if I sent it or not. That's all.
Yeah.
The 150 is again weirdly placed, but I guess we have nowhere else to put it. It works well with the military bowl. I'm assuming the military bowl symbol is not always there.
Right.
Since the North Carolina logo is so big on the pants and the Air Jordan logo is so small, it would have made more sense with the 150 logo on pants. Again, I don't know if they're like requiring 150 to be on the shoulders.
I think that was a national-wide college thing they had to.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah, the
that.
Argyle's on the collar.
It's
like,
on the stripe on the helmet is what I was thinking.
oh yeah, no, it's on the stripe on the helmet, it's on the collar, it's on the pants. This is a very well thought out uniform.
All right. And the alternate version, this is their kind of blackout look. More like the Carolina Panthers, who are the professional team in the same area, in the same state.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm always, and this is gonna just going back to the other one, and then this one too. I'm always going to prefer when the pants and the shirt are the first color, because it just looks more streamlined and looks classier and cleaner. And sometimes more threatening and ominous, depending on what that color is. Like if it's black, it's a lot more badass to come out in all black rather than black and powder blue as your pants. Like, so yeah, I mean, these are much cleaner than the other ones. I do like the stripes on the side and the shoulders. I do like that the numbers are outlined with the white and the blue, but it's a lot, the outline's a lot thinner than the black from the other ones. And the stripes, but are a good design. So yeah, no, these are nice and clean.
Sweet.
All right,
Yeah,
Jason.
I don't remember who JC picked here. I'm actually curious.
Just
I-
a classic.
I remember who it was. Thus starts the reign of JC, or should we call him JW, because all he does is pick schools with W as the first letter.
Yo, that's right. The last 4 picks.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead,
right.
Jay.
West Virginia coming in.
So there's the classic West Virginia look.
Why'd you pick them?
No, just, I mean, again, this one is a little more modern, this picture, the number design and everything, but their color schemes have always remained true. And I like the blue and yellow combo.
Okay. And then
Oh, wait,
your alternate.
I didn't look at it.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to see if the game was canceled or not.
Fantasy football.
I play fantasy football even though I don't watch football. And I'm very good at it too. So
I love those uniform combos, Jay. That's
anyway,
a good pick.
back to the first one.
Okay, so this is the first set. This is a little more intense than even for normal for West Virginia.
And what are these more recent? I'm sorry, I missed it. Are these more recent or?
This, so the letter or the colors have been exactly the same forever. But normally they're not so matchy.
Is this picture for their current uniforms or older uniforms?
Yeah, the middle and the one on the right are their normal jerseys, and the one on the left is their
Oh.
alternate.
Okay.
So yes, I would say they're all modern.
So I actually really like these. I mean, I'll be honest, the West Virginia logo looks a lot like the Wonder Woman logo. So
JC's pandering to women
pandering.
again.
He's never even met me before, but he's pandering hard.
Abs, Wonder Woman. Like,
But I actually like these. I like the style of the font. I think that's really cool. I like the leather of the neckline. That gives it a nice, unique touch. And of course, the West Virginia being on the V, the directionality of it all. I really like the fact that it's all one solid color. And the paneling is really cool on the sides. That point down towards the number is almost like an arrow pointing toward the number. And even their helmets have just like the little tiny detail of the West Virginia, and then on the sides, I think those are the numbers it has on the sides. I can't really see.
So
it's just a big dub V on it.
it's the same logo on the side of the helmet.
Yeah, no, I actually very much enjoy these. I like the color contrast. I like the white one's my favorite because it has the color contrast of both the navy and the black and the yellow.
Fucking JC, man.
It's harder to tell the color contrast of the black, navy, and yellow in the navy one. Yeah, no, I actually really like these. I think these are well designed.
All right.
Solid pick, Connolly. Solid pick, bud.
Coming out the gates hard. Let's see.
That might have been our best round.
Oh
I
yeah.
think.
So yeah, I think overall, top to bottom, that was the most positive feedback we've
One
received.
more.
No. So
there's for the West Virginia. There's the other second.
oh
one.
yeah. So this is their alternate, I suppose.
This one, I don't have a full pick to look at. What color are the pants?
I'm
They're
pretty.
gray.
They're gray as
Okay,
well.
so they're all gray.
Yeah.
This one I don't like as much because it's a little more standard. It doesn't, it's not as bold as the other. I do like that I do like the bold outline for the lettering and the the logo in the V, which is color blocked, and then you have the navy neckline, but definitely not as cool as the first ones.
Okay, so that means that at the end for round 5, who wins?
This is really tough. Johnny is definitely on the bottom.
What?
But
Motherfucker. I agree.
this is really tough between these and the army.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to go. Those are so cool. They're so original, unique. But I think I have to go army just because of the sleekness of their usual one, and the cavalry uniform, which was just done so well and so unique. It's just so cool how it recreates a cadet uniform and or the dress uniform, and it just looks. I have the way that they designed that was just very clever. So I have to go with army.
All right, Rob. Nice round 5 win there, bud.
I didn't want them to win again. I don't want there to be favorites.
I did call it. No, but I did call it because I was saying, because you were like, well, I'm going to win this hands down. I'm like, nope, America's going to side with me. I'm making a big comeback with Army. And you were like, is that your pick? And I'm like, yep.
So I'm pretty sure JC, all the ones that JC wanted that we stole have won.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so JC.
Is this ugliest jersey now?
JC gets to start with the first ugly jersey.
Ugly jersey.
There's only one round of ugly jerseys. So I guess for this one, you have to judge which one you are most offended by. Okay. To see who wins. All right. JC.
I'm gonna make my pick, guys, and then I gotta drop off because I gotta go pick up my kid.
Okay.
All right. We'll do your job for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So this pick is Wyoming with the brown and yellow.
Jay, we'll see you. I'll hit you up and let you know how the rest goes. Love you, buddy, and be good.
All right, guys.
Nice
We'll
to
see.
meet you.
See you, JC.
Goddamn kids, responsibilities, oblos.
I don't hate it.
You don't hate it? Uh-oh.
I don't. I like the Western font of the uniform.
Mhm.
Thank you. I said the same thing, that I loved it.
I think that's pretty cool. But I'm assuming they're
The Cowboys.
Okay, yeah. Then the colors are horrendous. It definitely looks like he kind of shit his pants on the side. But the paneling itself is nice. And the design of the logo itself is pretty on point. Like, it's sleek, everything's in aligned, and I do really like the lettering and the text, the font. That looks really cool, and it plays into their theme.
This is universally known as the worst jersey in Division 1 for some reason, and I absolutely love it. But you either love this jersey or you think it's the worst.
I don't hate it.
Well, there you go. And
even when JC tries, he still finds Gabby's eye.
Well, even the numbers are in that Western font, and that is really cool. I didn't really recognize that before you said it, but the numbers themselves are kind of in that same
and everything
curly.
The logos are aligned, and it's nicely designed. The colors are bullshit, but it's nicely designed.
All right, Johnny, I think it's your turn.
My pick is they tried to be too much like Miami, and these colors are fucking terrible. Florida A&M.
Ooh.
The Rattlers. But not
they look
Spencer Rattlers.
For my opinion, they look way too cartoonish.
And they also have a second one if you want. Of their slightly more modern look.
I mean, their more modern look isn't terrible, but they're running into the same issue as UF is, where they took two colors that, even though that are technically complementary, but then used shades of it that just look terrible together. Which is, not the designer's fault. I have to say this, and I should have said this before. The colors are not technically the designer's fault. They have to use the colors that they're given. However, there are schools that have clearly made exceptions, like Notre Dame and the one that I liked, the last one.
From Wyoming.
Yeah, and then also the Ducks. Like clearly,
Oregon,
you can make different colors that aren't just your. And Johnny, I just want to say that when people are watching, like your fan is definitely not something that they really want to.
Sorry, I keep dropping my phone.
We have an extra like phone holder. Just you need to
No,
use
I mean, yeah, but the recording's just on this anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're not going to see it.
Well, true, it's on here right
Okay.
now. Well, we'll edit it out. But yeah, just we want to get to that. So
No, it shows the cameras.
I'm saying we can edit that out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
So,
do
I have another picture? Do I have another picture of these, or did I just give you the one?
No, you have another, and I tried to throw it up. I don't know if you can see it or not. Did your screen change at all?
No.
No, he only sees PowerPoint. So yeah, you had the more modern one, which actually looks a little better.
But it's still, but again, the colors, and if we're going based on these that you showed me.
Well, this is the most modern one. This would be the nicest they get.
I can't see the entire uniform in that one.
It's great.
The pants are.
They're going to be all green.
All green? No, nothing on the pants?
No, I don't believe so. Maybe they'll have the Rattler logo on the side like here as well, but they don't. I'm 90% sure they didn't do green up tops and then orange bottoms. I'm like 90% sure on that.
I don't know. These are the worst colors I think in football. They're trying. They're too bold. Both of them are too poppy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And it's funny that they want to emulate Miami and not Tallahassee. I mean, they're in Tallahassee. They're right across the street from Florida State.
It looks like they're orange with a green stripe on the side.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Johnny might win on this one.
I don't hate the non-text design of it. And I think that had they done the colors differently, it would actually be kind of cool. It's very unique the way that they did the cutouts. But the text and the numbers are really just kind of thrown on haphazardly and makes the entire thing look very clunky and like garbage.
I agree.
So if we're talking about, but I'm kind of not judging the uniforms for the worst based on colors alone, because the designers don't usually have a choice on that. But I'll say just the general, I'm displeased by the general mostly because of the text and numbers. So.
All right. I see, here's the thing. Wyoming is a Division I team, but they're pretty on the edge of things. They rarely get to rise to the top unless they have like a good quarterback one year or whatever. FAMU is never really in the running for anything. They're pretty obscure as well. They're the little brother to, most of the Florida teams. I picked a school that, at least in recent memory, has perennially challenged to be a Big 12 winner, contender, whatever. And they have the coolest colors.
Real quick, I think the Tigers uniform is ugly as fuck too.
Yeah, it's Memphis. I'm pretty sure that's from the 90s. That's also probably not helpful.
Oh, okay.
But so the team that I'm picking is an actual contender who they show up on primetime television all the time with, theoretically, one of the best mascots, one of the best color schemes, and they produce some of the ugliest uniforms I've ever seen. And that is Texas Christian, TCU. They're supposed to be just purple, black, and white, and they decided to throw red in for no fucking reason. They're also their mascot is known as the Horned Frogs.
I don't think this is ugly at all.
I don't understand why they threw red in.
I think the red goes well with it.
So do you like the little red horn that's
Yeah.
up there?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's also a purple frog
I-
in there.
Where I don't see the purple frog.
Exactly.
Well, you need to. You can't ask me to judge these.
No, I'm
without-
saying it's impossible to see. That's the picture. That's as nice looking as it gets. And you can't even tell what's on the fucking helmet because they threw a bunch of shit at it. Like, it's so
what is it?
stupid.
Texas Christian.
Texas Christian. Like,
Rob does not like TCU.
I'm so upset that they went this direction with some of the coolest color combinations, and the horned frogs have like, that's one of the coolest idea for a mascot around.
Is it?
It's at least unique. It's not the fucking Tigers. Notice we haven't picked any teams that are the Tigers.
They're all the Tigers.
They're all the Tigers. Nobody picked a Tigers team.
There's no. There's no.
So what's but there's like a purple, what is that?
It's just a design, and then they use the red as the horn. I think that's really fucking neat.
Do you like the
I like-
collar?
I like the new uniform, the collar. This is cool.
Okay. That has nothing to do with frogs or Texas Christian or anything. They look like
What does Argyle have to do with North Carolina University?
they're very Scotch Irish. So that's why they have the Argyle. Like that's their hair.
Or
Literally
are they just fucking nerds?
both. But that diamond look has nothing to do with the history of the school. They're Texas Christian, and that looks like an Aztec headdress. There's literally a team called the San Diego Aztecs who, if they had that design, would make fucking sense. I don't know. I just feel like TCU has a lot of money, and they decided they threw TCU on the back of the helmet. But it has nothing to do with anything.
So,
They just said, this looks cool. Let's throw geometric designs at it.
do you know what a horned frog looks like?
Yes.
Maybe they're just horns. Anyway, I like this. I actually think this is a nice looking uniform.
So Rob does not come in first and the worst.
No, I knew it was a stretch because they have the most money. Like they're definitely the wealthiest of the three schools that we picked, which is why the uniform itself will always look nice, but the design choices I think are garbage.
So Gabby likes the uniform.
Yeah, she does.
I do.
So what is your favorite worst uniform?
I mean, it's got to be.
FMAU.
Yeah, Florida A&M. So you go, Johnny.
There
You're
you go,
back
big
on
win.
with the worst uniform.
All right, Rob. Now this is the last round of the snake. We'll help JC out because he has to go pick up his kid.
Yep.
But Rob, what did you pick for your non-division one?
So these are the tiny schools. So I picked a school that apparently JC really wanted, and I somehow stole this from him too. And it's a school that I knew a little bit about until we went and met a professional player who played there, Timmy Lolito.
Yep.
And I checked out his school after I met him, and I realized that
Oh wait, you didn't show me that one.
I did.
Oh, but I'm looking at that. Well, see, this uniform's really ugly.
But it has all the same things you liked. See,
No.
the same diamonds, the same
But-
red on the purple.
But it's not done as well. Everything's cluttered and
Oh yeah, with the patches.
and yeah, everything's cluttered. There's no space. The diamonds are a different pattern than the newer ones, and the lettering is, I don't know why it's orange. It should be red, and patches should be red, and
I did show you that, but you were
I know,
busy.
I was busy looking at the other ones and then looking online. I did not see this one once. What is this one?
So that's the alternate of the uniform I just showed
That's
you.
the alternate.
Like this is the same concept as the uniform I just showed you, but they just changed up the.
So these are the older ones. The newer ones are different.
No, they're the same. These
No.
came out the same time.
2019.
These are both. I believe these are both 2019 uniforms.
They are
I-
not.
Okay, then they might be They might be newer. 150, I think, was 2018. Johnny, do you remember?
Yeah, 2018.
Okay, so this was 2018. The other ones were 2019.
Yeah, these are the 2019. These are completely different than what you should.
But I didn't know if there was an alternate. I guess they went purple instead of
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway.
And they took out the red too,
Yeah.
and the new ones.
Well, that's their more traditional look is just black and purple.
So yeah. So now you brought me this one.
Well, okay, fine. Is this better?
This is uglier than the FMU one. FAU.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I was willing to take second with over Wyoming.
No, this one is truly hideous. There's not a single redeeming thing about this one.
Vindication.
There you go, Rob.
So are you saying? But now, looking at the whole body of work, do you think that TCU has worse uniforms than Florida A&M?
No.
Okay. Do they have worse uniforms than Wyoming?
No. Just this one specifically is offensive to me, and I hate it.
Okay. I don't know where that puts us, but at least I don't feel so bad about my pick, because this is the one that put me over the edge. But I saw the other one like, oh, maybe they tried hard. It was literally a red stripe on the helmet that didn't have anything to do with anything.
Horned frogs are horns.
That's not what the frogs look like. Anyway, it's fine. We're fine. Okay. So the tiny school known as Grand Valley State University, I believe, is in Michigan.
What am I doing?
It's in Michigan.
This is whether it's good, but these are tiny schools that nobody even sees on TV.
Okay.
So Grand Valley State,
Again, can't.
The Lakers.
the Lakers, the real Lakers, because they're actually from Michigan, where there's a lake. Yeah, I couldn't. They're so small, it's hard to find full like body shots unless it's like on a poster or something. I wanted to get one that was at least close up because you could see the kind of their different designs.
Yeah,
I like those
the-
helmets.
I like the houndstooth design on the
Yeah.
uniforms. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then like I said, there's a little kind of better
I
one
see the.
from here.
I found some online.
Yeah.
I like the paneling or the blocks of color. On you can turn back to the other one.
Okay.
I like the blocks of color, which you can't really see in these. And it looks like there's I can't, like, the pictures that I'm looking at don't look like the ones that are on the, here's one. Okay, cool, this one works. The houndstooth is nice. I like how small the numbers are. I think that's kind of cool. I like that the Adidas is centered over the name. I like that it does look like vinyl, but it doesn't look like cheap, shiny vinyl. Or actually it could be, the numbers are definitely embroidered in. But I think on the sleeves, but I do think it's vinyl on the center. But I like the underline of the name on the uniform. These are very clean, very classy. It looks like from my pictures that they're, for the most part, they are. It looks like they just have good general design, yeah. Again, the one that I'm looking at is really cool, but it's not listed on here, so.
It's not this one.
No, this one has color blocking on.
Oh yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, and it's not on any of these. They didn't show any of the away uniforms on this one for some reason.
Yeah, no, I mean they're nice. They're nice. I definitely do love the houndstooth patterns. Yeah,
Okay.
they're nice.
All right, Johnny, your pick.
My pick
one, but
is an even smaller school from Scuba, Mississippi, which nobody knows where the fuck that is. Way down in the south. It's a community college of Eastern Mississippi.
ooh,
And they have a bajillion different helmets.
They're called
Assuming they're
the
the Lions.
Lions. And then there's a story behind the skull and cross, but I don't really remember it.
I really like these. They also have the houndstooth pattern, but I like the blocking of it. The fact that it's like only on the back of, looks like one leg is really cool. And I like, it's so hard to decide, to tell, because I don't know which uniforms are current and which uniforms are not. And
I think the next picture of the current one. I think these are the older ones. I think the next. No, those are the old ones. So the current ones are the original grays from the first picture.
I like them. Not a huge fan of the gray color, but again, nobody really, you don't really have a choice with the designer said, but I like the dark gray a lot better than the light gray. But on the light gray, I like the like speed stripe. I don't even know what that is, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got little pieces taken out of it. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And
Another
then
Adidas
these
one.
are just kind of basic college football uniforms. There's nothing exciting about them.
Right.
You gave me flab instead of abs, so
Well, again, these guys are playing at community college, so
Not bad for a community college.
Honestly, like community college even has a football team is shocking to me.
All right, so I'll be doing JC's.
even community
JC's
football team.
is out of Pennsylvania, very small school. I believe it's Division II, and it's Wilkes.
Again, another W school. So this is Wilkes.
Those are the colors of my high school.
There you go.
Also with a W.
And then they have. Do you know what their mascot is?
I do not.
It looks like it's written on the side. The Colonels, the Colonels.
The
So-
Colonels, yeah.
Yeah. So they're written,
Colonials? Colonials.
Colonials. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I can't tell. Okay. So that's written on the side stripe there, and then this is their home uniforms. No, it's Colonels. I see it. It's
Colonels,
Colonels,
yeah.
like Sanders.
If we're Washington Wizards.
He gave them the wrong pictures because the other ones are nicer.
Can you go back to the other one?
The light blue ones that they have now are nicer.
Judging by these, I mean, I know we're going like for like the small schools, but there's nothing exciting about this. There doesn't like, I don't know, if you're a small school and you're wanting, I know they're not wanting, you guys are wanting me to judge based on the small schools and how good their uniforms are, then they should be something that stands out and doesn't just look generic. And these are pretty generic.
Yeah, I mean the idea here is that they have a much smaller budget for Nike and Adidas to make them uniforms than other schools, but
Oh, absolutely.
but you know, some schools make a lot,
You
make a lot of hay from that.
You can do a lot with a little if you try hard. I do like that the numbers are in cloth and embroidered and not in the letters and not vinyl, because that's not pleasant to look at. It's very clean. It's very clean. It's nice looking. It's just not that exciting. And again, I think my criteria is different than it is for the big teams, because if you're going to show me a small team and want me to pick the best uniform, it has to be something that stands out and not look like something that like anyone in the world could have.
Gotcha.
So who took this round?
Can I go back to?
Yeah, so this is Eastern Mississippi Community College, and this is Grand Valley State.
I'm gonna have to go with Mississippi because you couldn't find me a full shot of them, and then also when I found, you want me to judge the uniforms and you're not going to show me the entire uniform?
I couldn't find one.
I found one Googling one in 5 seconds.
Yeah, just a uniform. I was trying to give you the spread, different ones.
Johnny wins this one.
Yeah.
Overall, my gut instinct is Rob as number 1. And I don't want it to appear like it's favoritism or bias, but I do feel like he knows what I like, and that probably favored into it. No?
I picked the ones that I thought were the best. So like,
well, then I've trained you well. So
I still really like Arkansas State's, even though they're cheap as fuck.
Arkansas State is horrible. But so yeah, I think overall Rob wins purely because of Illinois and Army. And then JC comes in second because of, what was it, Maine and West Virginia,
Penn State, you like.
Penn State,
Texas.
yeah, those are all just nice choices. They didn't win those rounds. And then unfortunately Johnny, even though Johnny was the one that actually gave me an ugly uniform. No, wait, no, you won the ugly uniform though, because you showed me the last one that wasn't actually ugly.
Well, yeah. The ugliest of the
ugliest of the not actually ugly uniforms.
I mean, I shoot for the highest highs and the lowest lows. Let's put it that way.
So Rob, you did win this week.
Okay. So of Johnny's though, what stood out as his best? Because I know he had a lot of very good ones. Miami was his best pick. Okay. Though he did have the ugliest too, with
He did have the other.
overall, FAMU.
And I did like his community college one.
That's true. Just wasn't enough to pick.
Yeah, he would have won. He would have won the Oregon Ducks had he sent me that one picture, which I sent.
That's what's so hard about them. They have so many goddamn uniforms. All right, so that was our snake. Rob first, JC second, me coming in third, as predicted by the lovely Miss Barrios and her expert opinion. We will put them all on the web, and you guys can vote. But Rob, any final thoughts coming from the podcast today?
About the start of Big Ten football, I believe.
Big Ten football's coming. We'll recap the big Miami Clemson game.
Oh boy. And it should be a good time. But yeah, we're not going to do that right now. JC's not with us, so we'll make sure that we do our sign off. We do have 3 people from the team here though. So as always, Johnny B of PSE. And I actually published my first blog. Go check it out for PSE.
Remember, facts are facts, guys. That's what it is. Go check us out on Twitter.
And
we're bashing everybody on Twitter. We're bashing at equal opportunity.
Yeah,
we hate. So if we hate that week, get over it.
And the more that people want to fight us about it, the more gifts we're going to throw their way. And of course, JC's not here, but Outback Buck Shack is one of our sponsors, and of course, Gabby from Cosmic Dino Design is our graphic designer. So check out all of them out. We are all on Twitter and we're on the interwebs, and we'll see you all next week.
Peace.
$27.
I don't like that.